Morning mathematicians, and welcome to our math workshop. Today I want to teach you that mathematicians will add and subtract multiples or groups of 10 to 100, and we're going to include dimes. Before we continue, let's do a little review. So we add in 4 plus 3. We know that 4 plus 3 equals what? 7. So now the unit is apples. So 4 apples plus 3 apples will give us how many apples? 7 apples. 4 tens plus 3 tens is equals to 7 tens. That's just a little review. We can follow the same procedure when we are subtracting. So 4 minus 3, there is no unit, so we can say what? 1. Now the unit is apples. So 4 apples minus 3 apples is going to give us how many apples? 1 apple. And 4 tens, now we're subtracting tens. So 4 tens minus 3 tens is going to give us 1 10. So what happens when we are adding and subtracting groups of tens? So we have 4 plus 3, that gives us what? 7. So what about 40 plus 30? That will give us what? 70. Excellent. So 4 minus 3 we already know is 1. What happens if we subtract 40 minus 30? That gives us what? 10. So let me remind you that today we're going to add and subtract multiples or groups of tens to 100. And we're going to include dimes in some of the activities. So we're going to do it the regular way and we're going to do it the tens way. So in here we have some fingers, some hand, right? So we have 10, 20, 30, 40 on the top. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 on the bottom. 40 plus 50 gives us how many? 90. So now we have groups of tens. So each one is a group of 10. 2 hands together gives you 10 fingers. So this is a group of 10. So we have 10. So we have 10 in here, 10 here, 10 here, 10 here. So how many groups of tens do we have on the top? We have 4 groups of tens. How many groups of tens do we have on the bottom? Five groups of tens. And how many tens do we have altogether? We have 9 groups of tens. 4 on the top, 5 on the bottom. We have 9 all together. So we're going to be adding and subtracting groups of tens. So let's see. So we have some marbles. How many do we have in this circle? So we have 6 groups. How many are outside the circle? 2 groups of tens. 6 tens plus 2 tens gives us what? 8 tens. So that's the tens way. Now let's do it the regular way. 6 tens gives us what? How many? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 2 tens gives us what? 20. 60 plus 20 is 80. Excellent. So we have some chicken in the farm. So each group, remember, is 10. How many groups of tens do we see on the top? We're going to do it the tens ways first. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many on the bottom? 4. 4 tens plus 7 tens gives us, did you say 11 tens? Excellent. So that was the tens way. We already know that 7 tens plus 4 tens equals 11 tenths. Now let's do it the regular way. 7 tenths equals what? 70. 4 tenths equals what? 40. 70 plus 40 gives us 110. We can double check. So we already have 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. You're doing a great job. Now let's pay attention to this problem. So we have some fishes in the bowl. How many groups of tens do we see? Did you say 5? No, it's not 5. Count again. How many do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? So we see 7 groups of tens. And how many are they taking away? 2. So 7 tens minus 2 tens gives us, how many tens do we see? How many are left? 5 tens. So now we already know that there are 7 groups of tens. They're taking away 2 groups of tens, and we are left with 5 groups of tens. Now let's do it the regular way. 7 tens equals what? 70. 2 tens gives us 20. So 70 minus 20 is equal to, did you say 50? You're correct. Let's do another problem. So how many groups of tens do we see? Remember, you got to count the ones that are crossed out. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups of tens, right? How many are they taking away? They're taking away 3 tens. And we are left with 5 tens. Excellent. So we know that we have 8 tens minus 3 tens equals to 5 tens. So let's do it the regular way. 8 tens equals 80. 3 tens equals 30. So 80 minus 30 is 50. You're doing a great job. Oops, now we have dimes. So what do we notice, mathematicians? How many dimes do we have? Remember that a dime equals 10 cents. So we have 5 on the top, 3 on the bottom. Don't forget to include that. So we have what? 8 tens. How many tens are we taking away? We're taking away 3 tens. And we're left with 5 tens. So what's the regular way? 8 tens equals 80. 3 tens equals 30. So 80 minus 30 is 50. Nice. Pay attention. This time we're going to what? We're going to add. So how many tens do you see on the top? So we see 6 tens plus how many tens on the bottom? Plus 3 tens gives us how many tens? Nope. Is it 90 tens? Am I correct? No, it's not 90 tens. It gives us 9. So 60, 6 tens equals 60 plus 30 equals to 90. Excellent. So mathematicians, that was our lessons, adding and subtracting multiples or groups of tens to 100, including dimes. Follow the same examples to complete your work. Good luck.